Hi lovelies, welcome to Life with Hopsy and thanks for tuning in always. If you're new here, you are most warmly welcome. On this channel, I film about faith, marriage, lifestyle and food recipe on my sister channel, Cook with Hopsy. So do well to join this moving train by subscribing to this channel if you aren't a member yet. It's definitely going to be a blessing to you. I want to put a disclaimer right from the start of this video that there is actually no human formula that guarantees how a relationship or marriage will happen for anybody. Although we might be able to follow a process and do a number of things that prepare us for marriage, but whatever and whenever it might be, let's humble ourselves before God and yield our lives to His plan from the dictates of His word. However, from countless instances, I feel this generation is ignorant of almost every right value that produces the right results, which is where acquiring knowledge is essential. Gaining understanding, especially for anticipated success in whatever we set out to do, is crucial in the journey of life. I'm motivated to share my opinion on courtship, particularly to the singles out there, because this subject has been grossly misinterpreted to suit selfish purposes. Aside that, I have realized that most of the problems experienced in marriages and homes today are products of a faulty foundation, or call it wrong courtship pattern. Let me start by echoing the words of King David from God's Word's translation: when the foundations of life are undermined, what can the righteous person do? Countless millions of shattered homes around the world today began with wrong courtship habits, which made proper courtship impossible, and the results have been tragic. I have adopted the view that the Bible holds the truth for life today, regardless of how you and I feel about things, because it has and will always be the most effective and fulfilling. It is a complete guide to living a life of purpose. For instance, irrespective of what dating may originally be intended for in the past centuries, I feel our culture in this day and age has exaggerated its purpose and unconstrained its boundary. Unfortunately, youth of today are getting ripped off by this culture. They are getting distracted into a quagmire of multiple dating relationships that they are not well equipped to conduct, instead of enjoying their beautiful teen years as they build character and skills. Of recent, I learned of a secondary school girl of about 16 years old, who got pregnant, and after a series of questioning to unmask who got her pregnant, she confessed it was a secondary school boy in their neighborhood. It turned out the girl's parents were addressing the matter like a rape case, insinuating their daughter must have been forced into the act by the boy. Guys, to my amazement of what culture has done to our generation, the girl's sister, coupled with the girl's friend, testified that they are aware that the two have been dating for some time before the incident. And I'm like, what has dating got to do with sexual relationship, let alone between secondary school students? How does the two even relate together? What I think happened between them couldn't have been referred to as dating, but here we have. Although the word courtship can mean many things to different cultures, some culture may refer to it as a natural religious practice, but in the days of our forefathers, it was the standard way of pursuing someone with the intent of marriage. During my study on the subject matter, I found one of the best courtship definitions that I would like to share with you. It says, and I quote, "Courtship is the period of development towards an intimate relationship wherein a man and a woman get to know each other and decide if there will be an engagement followed by marriage." Oh, how I love this definition. It explains that courtship is a period where a guy and a lady concentrate on developing a deep friendship that could lead to marriage. As they discern their readiness, compatibility, and God's timing for their marriage under the protection, guidance, and blessings of parents or mentors. Clearly, courtship is not marriage. And this is why it baffles me to see undergraduates, a boy and a girl cohabiting in the same room away from their respective homes. And when asked why, you hear them saying, we are courting and we'll be getting married after school. In fact, some even bagged awards as the best couple of the year or set while in school. If you're watching me now and you are into such practice, please dear, salvage your marital destiny now before it's going to be too late for you. You can't sell yourself cheaply and hope to buy it pricey. A word is enough for the wise. Moving on, courtship can be summarized as dating with purpose. One question often asked by singles around me is dating equivalent to courtship? They try to explain that before a guy can propose to a lady, they must at least know certain things about each other. As much as I want to try to understand their perspective, I wonder why their question isn't, is dating equivalent to friendship? I realize that many singles in this 21st century already have their own modernized definition for dating. More often than not, it's just to have fun and enjoy romantic attachments. Courtship, however, is founded upon maturity and readiness for marriage. These are key factors for considerations in the decision for courtship. Maturity and readiness for marriage, meaning until you are at a stage in life when marriage is becoming a possibility, you don't go into courtship. It means you must be physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially ready to create and sustain a healthy relationship. Please note the word healthy relationship, and this is because it takes efforts, patience, self-discipline, and the wisdom of others who have gone through this process themselves and been successful. I know at this point some singles, are watching me now and are already looking at me like, truth is, courtship is a choice to not emotionally give away your heart to many others through casual dating relationships, but to one person you consider spending the rest of your life with. This is because you will agree with me that the termination of a casual dating relationship most often ends in pain, damage, and hurts, which always lead to bitterness in most cases. So isn't it wisdom not to try to win the affection of anyone until you are ready for marriage? Instead, be committed to developing good friendship with like minds with no strings attached. Even if anything will come up later between you two. And I feel developing good friendship over the time is even more secure and safe for you as a young boy or girl, and a solid foundation for better understanding of the personality of that individual in case marriage comes in view much later. Briefly, let's examine applicable steps towards successful courtship. I said earlier that courtship is preceded by maturity and readiness for marriage. So when you are at a stage when marriage is becoming a possibility, the first step is communing with God. Irrespective of which religion you are practicing, I strongly believe God is the Most High. Therefore, communing with the Alpha and Omega of your life is most relevant in this phase of your life. This is because before you, me, and every human being were formed in the womb of our mothers, He knew us and already had a plan for our lives. Now, when I mean communing with God, I don't mean contracting it to whoever, whether pastor, prophet, imam, what have you. No. What I mean is going into your closet and speaking to God about your readiness for marriage and willingness to yield to His guidance for a most suitable spouse to a fulfilling life. And then, relax. Trust me, it's not as hard as you may think. Having communion with God, be expectant of His guidance as you go about your day-to-day activity, and watch how sweet that experience is going to be. The one who has the plan of your life in His hands knows who to perfectly bring your way to actualize that beautiful plan. The problem with many is that we aren't ready to follow who knows the way. We think we are smarter, meanwhile we don't even know what the next hour holds for us. So many people have done this search themselves, and while many are regretting their decision now, some have paid dearly for it with their lives. That will be your portion in Jesus' name. It's not enough to look at an individual with all the qualities you can identify with and conclude within you that he or she is the right person for you. As time changes, so do human beings. That slim figure 8 lady of today may become chubby tomorrow. Therefore, believing God to guide you aright will require some level of self-restraint, patience, and faith. Faith, because if you rely on God to guide you into choosing your lifelong mate, you will definitely have the right one because He will not fail you. Wisdom is knowing the right thing to do and doing it. When it comes to marriage, wisdom is communing with God and submitting to His will.